question: what are some real but crazy facts that could save your life? If you are trying to rescue someone, check for danger first and maintain your own safety. In a lot of situations, it's easy for untrained first responders to become a casualty themselves in the heat of the moment, trying to help others. Carjacks are for lifting, not holding. If you find yourself stranded in a desert, ration sweat, not water. Of course, don't drink all your water in one go, but the rate at which you'll dehydrate and overheat if exerting yourself. For example, walking, hiking too fast, or climbing over obstacles in the heat of the day will kill you much quicker. Many people are found dead with water, which is terrifying. Not too crazy, but if someone is acting drunk but didn't have any alcohol, ask them to smile. If one side of their mouth is down, take them to a doctor because they are having or will have a stroke. If you're joking, don't get embarrassed. Don't go to the bathroom. Don't walk away from people. I've seen a couple of people nearly die because they were panicking and walked away from the dinner table and such while joking. Do the universal sign for joking with both your hands on your neck, and most people will get the message. Tea bags stop bleeding. They have an acid called tannic, which is a natural clotting agent. And then there's a follow-up comment. This actually works. Had wisdom teeth out a while back, and the extraction didn't go well. Took over an hour for the dentist to remove one of them. Sent home, and the bleeding wouldn't stop. Reading about the tea bag thing, used a tea bag, or rather a couple of them, to stop the bleeding. Remove the staple first, or you may do more damage than good. A motorcycle helmet is stronger than a skull. And if you get into an accident, you need a new helmet, even if it looks fine otherwise. Point at someone and delegate. People freeze up in emergencies or assume someone else will handle a problem. Point at someone and say, "You guy in the blue shirt, go to the gate and tell the ambulance where we are. Ma'am, please go with him. Don't ask, does anyone know CPR? Point at someone and ask if they do. Even if they don't, people are more likely to step forward in fear of being asked next and judged for not acting sooner than volunteering from the beginning." you drive after being awake for 24 hours, your response times are impaired, the equivalent of somebody just over the drink driving limit. If the forest suddenly falls silent, stop and listen. More often than not, it means apex predator is near. You can hold a plastic bag around a willow tree branch with leaves, and it will start condensating drinkable water in the bag. A non-permeable snack bag, like a potato chip bag, and duct tape can be used to seal a sucking chest wound long enough to get the victim to a hospital. When caught in a rip at the beach, just swim slowly along the beach, parallel to the shore, until you feel the pull ease up, and then swim towards the shore. A moose in the rut is more dangerous than a bear. Do not approach. Maybe not to save your own life, but it could help you save someone else's. When performing CPR, chest compressions need to be continuous, deep, and fairly quick. Call for an ambulance first. If you can get someone to help you, do so, because it is exhausting. For an adult, good quality chest compressions should be 2 per second and 5 to 6 centimeters deep. You should lock your hands together, one on top of the other. Get your arms straight. Lock your elbows and push with the heel of your bottom hand into the middle of the chest, hard, and do not stop until help arrives. Drink vodka if you get antifreeze in your system. I went to an animal CPR and emergency class taught by an old Army veteran. He said back in the day, when they brought a dog in that consumed antifreeze, they'd send a guy to the liquor store. Everybody would take a shot of the vodka because it was about to be a long night. Then they'd get the dog drunk as hell, bordering on alcohol poisoning. If the body is busy filtering the vodka, it can't filter the antifreeze and it will just pass through the system. It's when the body tries to process the antifreeze that makes you die, because it forms crystals in the kidney, liver, or something. So you have to distract the body away from the antifreeze until it passes. If you need to check a pressurized line, never use your hand. Use a piece of cardboard or soapy water. If you use your hand to check, the pressure can cause the fluid to cut your skin, and liquids like hydraulic fluid will cause gangrene in a matter of hours. Go to the hospital immediately and get them to check you right away, and don't take no for an answer. It could mean the difference between keeping versus losing your limb. Never try to fix a microwave. Sucking out snake venom doesn't work. If you've been bitten by a venomous snake, take a clear picture from a distance and call an ambulance immediately. The picture will be used to identify the snake species in order to get the most effective antivenom. This will especially save your life. If you see a venomous snake, do not approach to kill it or relocate it. This is how people get bitten. Spray it with water and it should leave, or wait 30 minutes and it will be gone. Getting close to a venomous snake with the intent to kill it is how you will get bitten. If you see a snake you can't identify 100%, if there is even the slightest possibility you don't know, don't pick it up. If you ever have to rescue a drowning person, throw them something to grab onto beside yourself. When you see someone faint, don't help him stay up. Gently catch and lay down as soon as possible. They're fainting because the brain needs blood to stay alive. Keeping them upright will prevent this. If you feel lightheaded, lay down so that no one will try to keep you on your feet. If you suffer from any condition that causes fainting, explain this to people around you. If the ocean water suddenly recedes at the beach you're at, a tsunami is probably coming. Once clinical symptoms appear in a rabies victim, it is 100% fatal. If you're bit by a wild animal, seek medical attention immediately. Polar bear liver contains a fatal amount of vitamin A if eaten by a human. If you are ever offered polar bear liver, politely decline. If you come down with shingles, getting on an antiviral within 72 hours significantly reduces the severity of it. Shingles is caused by the herpes zoster virus, and if you've ever had chickenpox in your life, the virus is inside of you. If you Google shingles, you'll find more information, but for me, it was originally represented itself as what I thought was acne on my forehead, so 2 doctors discounted my symptoms as a nasty virus. While it won't necessarily kill you, shingles affects your nerves and can cause paralysis in certain muscles. If you see square waves next time you're in the sea, get out as quickly as possible. They are similar to riptides and are extremely hard to escape from. The waves create a checkerboard effect on the sea. They are formed by waves moving in opposite directions. This happens when 2 separate weather systems collide. If you crash into an electric pole, immediately call 911 or your country's equivalent and stay in the car. You could have downed an electrical wire and the wire will still be live. Assume the entire area around your car is electrified. Only get out of the car if there's an immediate danger, such as a fire. When you exit the car, make sure both feet touch the ground at the same time and only take small, shuffling steps, and make sure both feet are touching the ground at all times. Okay, I'm gonna move on to another question now. replace with generic Post-it notes and practically anything else made by 3M. Swing line stapler. If they took my swing line, it'd be the last straw. Sharpie. Crayola crayons, markers, color pencils. I'm all for the store private label options in other areas. However, the off-brand art products are grumbly and produce mediocre results. Dawn dish soap. It's just good and really not that more expensive. This is pretty specific, but Scotch commercial grade packing tape. The U-line tape is terrible. 3M command strips. Nilla wafers. The off-brand versions tend to be flavored differently, and they leave a funny aftertaste. 409 cleaner. Nothing else works the same. Ticonderoga pencils. All the other ones don't hold up. Too intense, no jotting. It's interesting that a lot of the responses so far are stationery products. Plastic wrap. It's worth it to buy the name brand because the box doesn't fall apart. Premium brand saltine crackers. All other brands pale in comparison. Bic lighters. Because last time I bought some cheap generic lighters on a 2 for the price of 1 deal at the gas station. One of them blew up when I lightly tossed it onto my coffee table, and the other exploded in my hand, and I don't know how or why I wasn't seriously injured by that. Just dumb luck, I guess. Bic lighters are better quality than the generics, and I've never, ever had one explode like that. Ziploc bags. All the generics I've tried have super crappy seals that are extremely difficult to snap into place, and they are weak. M&M's. Knockoffs have the wrong chocolate to coating ratio, or their chocolate isn't as good. Not really a brand name, but I stopped using supermarket bacon after trying it from a butcher's. I found generally supermarket bacon shrivels up to a ridiculously small size. I'm guessing they inject it with water to make it weigh more. The bacon I get at the butcher's basically stays the same size and tastes much nicer. I know it's not something everyone can afford, but I eat bacon pretty rarely, so it's a nice treat when I do. Cheez-Its. Windex. The store brand leaves a film. Data storage. If I lose years of photographs, it will be because of my own negligence, not because I saved $8 on an SD card. Q-tips. I've tried others $2 and they suck, then I'm stuck with like 2,000 crappy cotton swabs. WD-40. Many people mentioned Hellmann's mayo, Heinz ketchup, and Beans, Kikkoman soy sauce. Here's one I haven't seen. Leah and Perrin's Worcestershire sauce. Absolutely no substitute. Doritos. Reynolds Wrap, aluminum foil. Glad garbage bags. Kerrygold butter. Philadelphia cream cheese. Okay, and we'll do one more question now. Which job is definitely overpaid? I watch milk powder go into a bag and out on a conveyor belt and get paid $37 an hour. I make about $40 an hour after tax in the US as a real estate appraiser. You just need a college degree and a year of training, and there is a huge shortage of appraisers right now. I only perceived this job as being overpaid because I spent most of my 20s making pizza for minimum wage, and imposter syndrome is a thing. Appraisers are not real estate agents or brokers. I do not buy or sell property. I do not look at Zillow and copy the number, and I don't just make the number and valuation. While I agree there are some appraisers who may lie or exaggerate, the same could be said of nearly any job. However, if I were to intentionally try to hit some goal and got caught fudging the numbers, I'm looking at permanently losing my license and possible jail time, depending on the severity. It's actually pretty common for me to tank a deal if someone is paying too much. Appraisal reports aren't just 3 pages of photos with a cover page anymore. My typical appraisal is 30 to 50 pages with long, boring typed pages of market data that I type and research myself. I think this person got a lot of responses about his career, which is why he made that edit to kind of expand on it. University administrators and board members. There are an incredible amount of analysts who just own automated Excel sheets they received from developer teams. Low to mid 6 figures is common in high cost of living areas. I get paid 6 figures to shovel a couple of hours a day, so definitely my job. A bit of an exaggeration. Still have to be at work and on my feet 10 hours a day, but there is only a small percentage of that day that is actually labor intensive. The key to finding high-paying, low-skill labor jobs is to work for a company that contracts public works projects in a There's a person at my job whose title is literally assistant to the executive director and makes over $180,000 a year. He does nothing but wander around the building looking for things to write people up for. Do you work at Dunder Mifflin? That's what I thought too. University president. There was massive upset at the university I went to because students found out that the president makes $875,000 a year to give a few speeches a year and do some PR stuff. His secretaries do all the university running that he should be doing. Life coaches. Mega church pastors. People who claim to care about God and helping people shouldn't get their flock to buy them a tax-free Gulfstream private plane. I get paid $67,000 a year to literally stare at my computer screen and do nothing. I'm surprised I haven't been let go yet. IT recruiting. 25 with a history degree, $56 an hour, and can submit for overtime, remote. Sleep most of the day. Relax in the sun. Off-camera meetings. I haven't made a cold call for 2 years either. You also learn how to interview, a lot about hiring processes, lots of good life skills, building resumes, etc. Pharmaceutical reps. Radiation therapist in Australia here. I work a 4-day week, 7 to 5 shift, no weekends. I get $64 an hour, and then my pay goes up in 12 months to $70. Social media influencers. Web developer. I'm a web dev. I make more than my wife. She's a nurse. She literally saves people's lives. I work from home. I walk my dog whenever I feel like it. I haven't physically sat in the same room as my boss in 2, maybe 3 years. Probably mine. I do web development for a Fortune 500 company. Salary is around $150K annually. I know they pay this much